Hello and welcome to Meet the Candidates. I'm Glenn Walter, and this is your opportunity to meet and listen to and hear from all the candidates running for local office, make an informed decision, and go to the polls on May 20th for the primary. And we're joined now with candidate for 5th District Magistrate, Marty Booth. Marty, thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you for providing this opportunity. I think it's wonderful of Cable 10 to do this for the citizens of Franklin County.
So many people may know you throughout the years, but maybe there's some folks out there that are new to the area or maybe don't know you just a little bit, so just give a little background on yourself.
All right. I am a native Kentuckian. I've lived in the 5th District for 30 years. My father was an L&N Railroad passenger agent, something they don't have anymore. And my mother was a high school teacher. She taught civics and history. I grew up in Logan County, Russellville in particular. And I graduated from Russellville High School and then went on to the University of Kentucky, where I graduated in art and education. I have politics in my family. My great-grandfather was a state representative. I moved to Frankfort because I wanted to work for state government. I was promoted from a position in my hometown. And 28 years later, I retired from the Kentucky Department of Parks. I was their advertising manager and website manager. I won awards for my department. And after I retired, I started a small business called Booth Design, which is a web design and graphic design company. I enjoy that very much. I have 2 sons, Jason, 39, and Jared, 31. And I am the doting grandmother of Ava, who is 7. Granddaughter, see, I had 2 sons, so having a granddaughter was really, really nice. And I also became active in community affairs. My parents instilled in me, they said that anyone that lives in a community should be involved in that community and take part in what happens there. So I became active. I was a founding member of the board member of the Women's Shelter, Franklin County Women's Shelter. I was on the board of my neighborhood association, Huntington Woods in South Benson. I am now the chair of the Board of Zoning Adjustments for Frankfort and Franklin County. I was a founding member of Envision Franklin County. I am president of the Capital Area Art Guild. I was past president of the Democratic Women's Club here in the county. I'm a state vice president in another state women's network, as they call it, Advocates for Democratic Principles. I am president of my church's women's unit, United Methodist Church. I'm going to the assembly that they have every 4 years next month. I'm also a poll worker. I'm proud of that. I've done that for 6 years. I got interested in it when I was in Democratic Women's Club and they were bringing in the new voting machines. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I want to learn about that. And then I became a poll worker. And you really meet people through doing that. And my county clerk is not happy with me running for office because he has to find someone to take my place. Right. But anyway, I am proud of my community record of service.
Obviously, you have a little bit going on.
Yes.
You mentioned your knowledge of civics that goes back to your parents, and of course, that's all about government and as involved as you've been, and even as working at the polls.
Yes.
You've decided now to run.
Yes, I have.
Why this race and why now?
Well, one of the main reasons is that 2 of the fiscal court magistrates that I admire are leaving the court. And I wanted to, it was Jill Robinson and Houston Wells, and I always agreed with their decisions. So that gives your viewers some idea as to my views. Another reason was that I became very convinced that the people's voice can make a difference. because I was on the board of the Huntington Woods Neighborhood Association when they filed suit against the owners of the Benson Valley landfill, against their plans to expand. And because we brought suit, we changed the scope of the landfill expansion, and we ensured environmental safeguards, water quality especially. And we even had a cartoon in the State Journal showing the neighborhood association as a Halloween ghost scaring the Benson Valley landfill owners. So that's the point that I realized that we can make a difference. People's voice can make a difference, and I stay involved in the democratic process.
One of the big issues that everyone wants to see growth and expansion, and an issue that comes to the forefront in really every line of politics, no matter if it's city, local, state, whatever it may be, is economic development.
Yes.
And it really has tentacles that go far beyond what people see as maybe economic development. They think business, but it has a lot more far-reaching things. If you're elected and you're fortunate enough to get to sit on the fiscal court as the 5th District Magistrate, what would you do to help promote economic development in the community?
Well, Franklin County is very lucky in many ways, and one of the ways is that it has a wonderful tourism base, things that can be developed for bringing people into this community that don't live here and bringing their dollars with them. And I have an extensive experience with that because I was the advertising manager for Kentucky State Parks and studied that. Another thing that I believe government does is find ways to market, avenues to market what is produced in Franklin County. And that includes the farmers, agribusiness. We hear the agriculture commissioner now talk about developing markets for produce, and are developing products that would appeal to new markets. And we can do that too, and we should do more of it. Another thing we can do is make it easy to set up a business here. And I believe a lot has been done in that direction, but we can do more. The role of government is to have a level playing field for economic development. People that have initiative, they should not, they should abide by the same rules as everyone else. And they should know what those rules are. Also, people that want to bring business from other counties or other states into this county, they should be encouraged, even given tax incentives for a limited time only, not a carte blanche. And also, we can promote their businesses through our own community resources like the Chamber.
You'll be one of 6 members, if elected, to the fiscal court as a magistrate. And obviously you look at county-wide situations, you're looking at serving the entire community, and if you're sitting on the fiscal court, you have to be a broad thinker in that way.
Yes.
But looking specifically at your district in the 5th, what 1 or 2 specific options, ideas, things that you want to bring to the table that impact solely your district would you bring in if you're elected magistrate?
Oh, so glad you asked me that. Well, environmental safety tops the list for me. What goes on, over, and under our land is very important. And I talk specifically about the Bluegrass Pipeline project. It affects neighborhoods in my district, and I am against it. I believe that our geology does not suit a pipeline for pressurized natural gas liquids. This was a concern with the landfill as well. Also, it does not benefit Kentucky in any way. Everything passes right through. It's a private enterprise, and the question of eminent domain has been raised, and it's a very important question. Only for the public good should we exercise that. The second issue that really concerns me is in utility standards. Utilities, especially the county precincts in my district, do not extend out there. There have been many stopgap measures taken, and it is caused with water and sewer especially, causing health problems, health hazards, I might venture to say. They're actually hazards to our health. Private sewer plants have been built, and their owners live outside of the county, outside of the state, and they're not maintained. The water piping is old and inadequate. In fact, the water district is going to increase their rate dramatically because they realize this, and we need to make sure that any new development and the existing development measure up to the standards that we have set through much study for our citizens. Those two issues concern me a great deal. And if I could add a third,
Sure.
traffic safety. And this affects the county precincts in my district. The roads that people have built on, and I know why they built there, because we have wonderful, beautiful scenery in southwest Franklin County. But this caused increased traffic over roads that were not designed for it. And there is not enough money in our budget to address all of the problems. So we need to have a good plan in place to spend our money wisely in that area.
If you are fortunate enough to be elected and you take office, it's a multi-year term.
Yes.
But imagine it was only a one-year term, and you're coming in and you've got 1 year to get something done. What is the one thing in that 1 year that you would focus most on?
I would focus on the defeat of the Bluegrass Pipeline, for one. And secondly, I would try to, well, this is something, it has to do with utilities, but I haven't brought it up yet. But we need to extend sewer out to our citizens in the county precincts. And we need to separate the storm water. We need to retain the storm water that falls on our land and direct it away from damaging each other's homes, the roads. That would be one of the things that I would concentrate on in my first year: sewer expansion and stormwater retention.
One of the success stories, in most people's opinion anyway, has been the trash and recycling program in the county.
Yes.
Many people in the city weren't as happy with the plan that was put out. Success or not, we won't debate, but we understand that there has been a lot of debate about that plan. In the county, you haven't had that issue.
No.
But to have a successful situation like the trash and recycling plan within the county, obviously it's a cost. Do you see that particular program in place right now being able to sustain itself and continue on in the successful path it is without raising taxes?
In the city?
In the county?
Yes, I do. I think that it's, we were very fortunate. The fiscal court appointed a citizen task force for the first and only time to study the last contract that we signed. We have two separate contracts now. One is a carting company, which picks up the trash and of course the landfill where it is put. And those citizens went over that contract line by line from all of the people that bid on it, and we've got a very good deal. And I think that we can continue that in the county. The county is very fortunate. The counties around us don't have anything like we do. We recycle every week. We have a 95-pound trash can to put our recycles in. And I have seen my neighbors, especially, and people all over in the county precincts, really, they fill those things up. And that is a wonderful thing. I'm very happy with our contract, and I don't see any new taxes being imposed, at least in the county.
As a magistrate, if elected, you will meet every 3 weeks, and your job is to set policy in most cases, or looked at in a broad sense that way. How involved or what authority do you feel like a magistrate should have in the actual day-to-day operations of county government?
Oh, the magistrate is really the oversight of the county government. There's a lot of functions that the magistrate has that most people aren't aware of. They're the legislative body. They are responsible, I believe, for ensuring that our departments that provide services to the citizens are run well and run by the best people. And that takes a day-to-day involvement in at least the results of the services that are provided to the citizens. You are a magistrate is a connection between the people and the county government. So they need to be available to everyone all the time. And that is day-to-day involvement. In fact, if I am elected, I am going to have a phone line that is dedicated solely to that. So when I know that phone rings, it's from a constituent and I need to listen.
You've sort of answered that question. The next question, we're going to maybe expand on that one a little bit. Do you believe the magistrate position is a full-time job in a sense that it should be eligible for retirement and benefits? And sort of explain your stance on that.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought about it. I didn't even know if magistrates were paid, to tell you the truth, when I first filed. Yes, it is a full-time job. People that have been in it for a long time certainly deserve retirement, and I would go along with that. The full-time job is the part where you are accessible to everyone and you represent everyone, and you cannot be really prejudiced toward one or the other direction that people want to go in. When you run, you state your opinions, and if you think vote for you, then the majority support you in those opinions. But after you're elected, you have to be available all the time. It is a full-time job. And not only that, but we have training. We are supposed to keep up with that training, and we visit other communities to see what they're doing. So yes, I would think retirement and health benefits, did you say,
Mm-hmm.
would be appropriate for that position.
Well, this is your opportunity. Many of the candidates are out knocking on doors. And it takes a lot of work. And
Yes,
in this case, you get an opportunity not necessarily to knock on the door, but to look into that camera and take just a moment to talk to the potential voters of the 5th District and tell them why they should go to the polls for Marty Booth on primary day.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I feel I'm uniquely qualified to be a magistrate. I bring a different point of view. First of all, I'm a woman, a mother. I'm a small business owner. I live in the country, but I am a very active participant in downtown businesses. I am concerned about the quality of life, and I have a vision for Franklin County and for our children. My children were fortunate to be raised in Franklin County. I consider Franklin County to be a progressive county compared to most in Kentucky. We are the state capital county, and that has brought a lot of new ideas to us, and the fiscal court needs to be on top of all of those new ideas. And I promise you, I will study and research. I will not discount anything that is presented to me, but I will study it. My 5 platform is environmental safety, utility standards, land use planning, traffic safety, and economic diversity. I feel that we should not be solely dependent on state government, but we should hold state government accountable for the services that we provide them. Now, the stormwater retention is a good example of that, because if we do charge a fee for this utility, state government is required to pay that as well as our citizens. Right now, they do not pay taxes. They give us a stipend that has not changed since Julian Carroll was governor. So we will have funds to improve our situation. water and wind are the most damaging accidents or circumstances according to the insurance companies. In Franklin County, they consider that more dangerous than fire in our community. We have to pay attention to that. We have to plan for the future. We have to use smart land use planning, where we do not spend all of our budget trying to keep up with the utilities at all times. We need to plan for utilities, and when we improve our utilities, we need to also have a maintenance plan for the future so that we can guarantee the longevity of the projects that we do endorse. I ask for your vote. I will work for you very hard, and I appreciate this opportunity to speak to you. Thank you.
You're watching Meet the Candidates, and you've just met candidate for 5th District Magistrate Marty Booth. Ms. Booth, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed it.
And we urge everyone out there, and every candidate that's come into this seat, we've all agreed that the most important thing you can do is watch, learn, get an informed decision, and go to the polls for the primary on May 20th. For everyone at the Frankfort Plant Board, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.